Duncan, another night when the game seems sewn up and then they score and Mansfield just fall apart. What happened?
Well, I just think the goal the boy scored, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? You know, you see them every now and again, but I know he had every intention of putting it in. I've not really spoke to Groffy. I'll speak to him shortly, but I'm just a bit unsure whether what he's seen. Did he think obviously it was going to go over his crossbar? Because certainly the player, when he looked up, he looked to actually, because where I was and I could see it perfectly, he was going for goal. It was no cross because no one in the box. So I've got to question my goalkeeper's distances, but I'll talk to him about that. But you know, he's done really well for us. He's kept us in a lot of games, and I think towards the end there again, you know, when we sort of like started to sit a bit deeper again, he pulled off a couple of good saves. I think there's when I spoke to them at the end of the game, there's hands up. There's a lot of tired legs, and we've got to go again on Thursday, because I thought before the goal went in we're totally in charge of the game.
Well, this is the thing. The start of the second half, Luke Medley's had 4 or 5 chances. He's set up the goal that you've scored. At that point, you look so in control. It's just conceding a goal that seems to, as you say, then put your players on the back foot. They seem to almost panic and implode.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, David, to be honest with you, if you think, look at the goal they scored. They didn't score a goal through good open play, passing around corners and stuff like that, as we do. It was one of those. They just look up, bang, it goes in every now and again. 9 times out of 10, I think the goalkeeper would have been in the right position just to flick that over his crossbar. But what I do get disheartened with is that all of a sudden, there's a bit of capitulation again. I'm thinking, well, why not just play and do the things we were doing for the last God knows how many minutes, and just keep turning them again as we did in the first half, and obviously most of the second half. So that infuriates me, to be honest with you, because I'm thinking, why are you changing something that's not broken? But there are. What I will say, that when you do get tired legs, you can't, and it's no excuse. I'm not making no excuse for the players, but sometimes you become mentally, I wouldn't say the word weak, but tired as well. So your decision making sometimes changes when you are a bit fatigued. And I thought the players, to be honest with you, after the game on Saturday, and I look at what they did tonight, and we should have come away with 3 points. To be honest with you, the amount of chances we've had yet again. Even Adam Murray towards the end had a header just at the side of it. Luke Medley's had some great chances. Danny Mitchley, obviously Luke was offside. He's turned his man. The man's still playing. He's turned his man and put the ball in the back of the net. I thought we could have got 4 or 5 goals tonight. So yeah, it's disheartening for me. Obviously, it's a team that are fighting for everything, but I just think, I go back to say, for people that actually witnessed and watched the game, apart from when they scored the goal, we totally dominated the game. So we've got to learn to be mentally stronger, so when things don't go the way they should go, and they might score against you, or you get against the run of play, you've got to learn to be mentally strong and just do what you're good at, get your shape right and stuff like that, and then you weather those storms.
Is it a bit concerning that you say there's a few tired players there? You've got 3 more home games coming up between now and next Tuesday, and then a trip to AFC Wimbledon on the Friday.
Yeah, well, absolutely. But this, we've got to face it, haven't we? We've got to do it. So obviously, we've got to make sure all the recovery side's correct and stuff like that, and then hopefully, we can. 4 games in this amount of days is regardless of whether you're the top athletes. When I say football athletes, it's going to take its toll, and it will do. So we might have to rotate again. I'll have to see how they turn up and how they're feeling. I've told them to be honest with me. It's great that I want some Lionhearts out there, but if the energy levels are not there, if the mind might be willing, but if the body's not, then it's no use to me, I'm afraid. So we've got to be honest about that, and we've got to go into the game on Thursday now, and we've got to try and draw some reserve and try and get a result.
Because you've not got huge amounts of options, have you? You've not got a massive squad to be able to rotate much anyway.
No, not at all. That's unfortunate. But I'm sure what I have got, I think the lads will give their best. I thought Luke Medley did really well today, and Danny Mitchley played really well up front. With the absence of Paul Connor, because Paul Connor is a formidable character and a target as well. I thought the 2 front players did really, really well, and they moved their back line about, and they were clever. I told them to be good with their back to goals. Only a couple of times the ball bounced off them. Keep your back, play the way you're facing, trying to get the midfield involved, get them turned, getting the diagonal balls on. And I just thought when we did that, we looked really, really good. And all of a sudden, they scored the goal and we stopped doing it. Now, I'd love to run on the pitch and be able to tell them all, but unfortunately I can't do that. But I mean, I was talking to Paul all the time about our shape and stuff like that, and you know, because you got a great vantage point up there, and I just thought this time that, you know, we need all the help we can get. And so, you know, we tried to orchestrate them through the game, and it was going really, really well. And like I say, it was a freak goal, to be honest with you. You know, the boys just looked up. He's obviously seen Groffy off his line. I just thought, you know, if Groffy backpedaled a bit, got his hand up, he might have tipped it over the bar. So I don't know yet what he'd seen. But, you know, I think, what I can say about Groffy, I think he's a typical foreign goalkeeper. They like to play off the line, don't they? You know, I'm surprised. I've seen him once. I've seen him coming up to the halfway line. So, you know, the boys got to learn from it. You know, we'll sit down. Paul and I will sit down. We'll have a look at we'll look at the video and see where we can improve, and we'll keep trying to improve all the time. I just think the goal was against the run of play. It really, really was, and it changed the game. And I think they've come off the back of a few things like that. And you know, you've got to show mental strength and character, and you know, that's so important to us. And you know, the players have got to learn that, and they've got to learn it really quickly.
Thanks a lot, Ross. We're going here Thursday.
Thank you very much.